although life is getting back to normal for most Brits and others, members of the Commonwealth now, for the royals, they're still in mourning. Yes, it is. It goes on till next Monday. And I'm pleased, actually, because the amount of energy and where they went and the mix of emotion and a desperation to get to the people and to make sure that you're going to be popular, I think is enormously exhausting. So I think... But Prince Charles, of course, Prince Charles, King Charles...
I wish I had a pound for every time I've done that, yeah.
He's the last person to want to relax or take it easy. I mean, he's a workaholic. And by that, I mean, he works every single day of the year and often till 2 a.m. when he falls asleep on his laptop. But I think this time, Camilla, our new queen, she will actually encourage him to go on walks. That's a very good way of him unwinding. And it's very beautiful up in Scotland where he is. And he can actually take a bit of a breather, I hope. There'll be lots of work that he has to do, paperwork and things, and that will continue. But it's just that he will have some peace for the two of them and just talk and be together. They make each other laugh, and I think that's always very relaxing. And Camilla said quite recently that what they really like is to be up in Berkwell in Scotland and not necessarily even talk to each other, but sit close by, reading or looking at papers and just letting strain sort of move away.
Ebb away, yeah.
Yes.
What of his sons?
Well, I think Harry's going back. Well, they said they were going back straight after the funeral, but there's not quite sure whether they're.
I wonder about the Fab
Four.
Four and.
Oh well, I think that I never thought that would work. You couldn't do that because Harry doesn't want to. He's waiting for William to apologise, and I'm not quite sure why he wants him to apologise. He says, because he didn't support me when I needed it. Well, I think Harry's been much worse in what he said about William than William actually not being able to drop everything the moment he wants it. Compromise is very important about this, isn't it? Understanding the other person has a view, but Harry doesn't want to compromise. William did. I mean, he invited him to go round and talk to people at Windsor, look at the flowers, go for a walkabout. But, you know, they've been looking, there's been complaints about how they've been treated, petty complaints in totally inappropriate time. And I can't see that they should actually complain during this week since the Queen's death and her funeral.
Should have been allowed to wear his uniform, though, shouldn't he? I mean, he did have 2 tours of Afghanistan.
Yes, but I think that's pretty petty as well. He is here. He did wear uniform when he was supposed to be guarding the Queen, but then he made a big fuss that he didn't have her name on the top, E-to-R. But he didn't have it when he got married. There were pictures of him wearing the same outfit when he got married. He didn't have it then. I mean, I think they look for things that are not quite right and make a huge fuss about it. I'm sorry, I
can tell.
When I did his biography in 2018, he was absolutely a delicious person and very understanding of people who were damaged. Pictures? Yes, that's what I mean. I think they were all very awkward with each other. You can't get rid of such terrible wounds, personal wounds, in a minute. You've got to have a lot of time to be able to talk about it and discuss it. But of course they can't trust Harry or Meghan because they leak things to, you know, papers and television and documentaries. So it's very difficult. You can't trust that it will be secret and private. But if you see Meghan, she pushes her hair over the front every single time she sees somebody. She was very awkward on this. She kept them waiting 45 minutes while she changed. I invited her. She was 45 minutes late, which I thought was a bit rude to the future.
Final thought about the King. When he comes back, he'll come back to London. What will he do?
Well, he'll do all his papers. He will start planning of all the things that he wants to do. He will think about comparing himself to what his mother did and how he can take that forward. And I think that means that he will actually be much more accessible to the public. We saw that when he came back after the Queen's death, instead of going straight into Buckingham Palace exhausted and worn out emotionally, he came out, shook hands with everybody, very generous. And I think that it was, I'm with you, please be with me type of thing.
Okay.
And I think that's very good. I think he won't take it quickly. He'll do it slowly and thinking about it carefully.